Hi. So, over the last few weeks, I have learned a lot from FNT 204, that is Data Analytics in Financial Services, from Professor Behram. I have learned about data analytics, storytelling, Power Query, MySQL, and how these connect to the real business applications. Though I wasn't really very active over the last phase of the lectures, but I made sure I was updated with the recordings that was updated on the Blackboard. So today I would like to share some of my learnings and key takeaways from this course. So one of the first things that I learned was the difference between a structured and unstructured data and how organizations manage these through tools like data warehouses, data marts, and data lakes. This gave me an insight into how the big data is an important player when we talk about the financial market. Next was data governance, which was really interesting to me because the importance of ethical handling of information is close to me because I come from a background of compliance. So that was really interesting to learn from in this course. Another important thing was the concept of storytelling. So it was interesting to see that it's not just about presenting numbers, but more than that, it is about communicating a message when we talk about storytelling in business presentations. So it makes the data more memorable, it helps in engaging with the audience, and sometimes it even influences decisions. So it was interesting to see how the business presentations can also have a storytelling arc, a narrative arc, like the beginning, the middle, and the end. So that was an interesting learning for me. Another important thing was the practicals that Professor Behram took with us. He gave us the power to decide on what we need to learn and collectively come together, take a decision, which was really interesting take on how to encourage students and make them learn new things. And he gave us an insight into practical learning through teaching us Power BI and MySQL, which was very interesting. One of my favorite was Power Query, which taught us that you can help or you can transform clean data without having the knowledge of coding, which is really helpful because a person who engages a lot with data analytics can do this without the knowledge of coding, and which will help him save a lot of time. So that was one of really interesting classes for me when there was practicals for Power Query and there was also initiation on MySQL, which was also really interesting. So these are the kind of topics which I found really interesting and I learned a lot from this course. So in the next top slide, I'm going to be discussing about some of the key takeaways I took from this course. So one of my personal takeaways was not to be intimidated by technical tools. When Professor Behram comes up with interesting ideas like what the students wants to learn, do you want to learn Power Query? You want to learn MySQL? You want to learn Power BI? And when students come up with that as a united decision, we start learning that instantly. This kind of a learning is interesting and takes the fear out of me to learn and engage into new technical tools. So that was really good for me. He also emphasized on the fact that nobody learns the coding fully, like nobody understands everything fully, but you need to be smart in finding solution. Like for example, you can use AI to find answers, but you need to do it in a smarter way. This gave me a lot of confidence. Another important takeaway was the fact that data is central to a lot of decision-making situations. This broadened my perspective about a lot of things because data, like now I understand that data is central to say a storytelling arc or say a financial decision, a statistical report or anything, or a technical tool, use of a technical tool. You need data to process everything. So data becomes central when we talk about a trust, influencing stakeholders, or even driving decisions when it comes to a business environment. So these were really interesting takeaways for me from this course FNT 204, and I love the way Professor Behram teaches us.